Letters हम लिख देते ना parents को, whatever letters we write, no? Writing on Sundays we write letters. So she used to read our letters also. And all the letters we used to get, she used to read those letters also.
Some boyfriend, somebody is writing that.
Only,
They had boyfriends?
only girls.
But you may have boyfriends from outside the school.
Baju में Montfort school था.
Boys school.
Boys school. Just next to.
That's the reason your teacher was reading.
No, one. I
Lali ko kaun
there
likh
was
raha
one
hai
girl,
letter.
actually Usha Kundu. Usha, she is a Malayali girl. Usha Kundu. One letter had come from there. Somebody must have written to her. What did she say? She read the letter. Notice board hota hai na udhar. I read all this boy has written to her. Okay. And she felt so bad, no? She felt very, very bad.
They have found this,
Very strict, very strict.
Always, even if you go to like Mahabaleshwar, go Doon school and nahi Mahabaleshwar, Upar if you go, wherever there's a girls' convent, there's a boys' convent. Opposite side में रहता है. जानबूझ के लगाते हैं.
My brothers had two of my brothers. They had studied there in Montfort school.
Mumbai में तो देखा. Welcome also I went there also I saw.
ऐसे प्लान करके बनाते हैं.
लॉजिक है. घर के अंदर कुछ नहीं चलेगा, घर के बाहर करो.
रात को जो हम सब लोग उसको मेरी मेरी करके बुलाते थे. और साउथ इंडियन उनको सब उन्होंने कन्वर्ट किया. और इंडियन they were converted into Christians. They came one and they all became Christians. Night used to come डालती थी ना, तो हम लोग मेरी से बिकाई मेरी दिन वाला दाल है क्या, प्लीज गिव मी दिन वाला दाल. दिन वाला दाल was घट्टानू रत्नाई का पेपर वाटर. चावल इतना मोटा मोटा चावल उसके ऊपर अब गया. हम लोग हार्ड डेज, बिकॉज हार्ड डेज देने के बाद ही तो ये एजुकेशन मिली ना हमको. अगर हार्ड डेज में हमारा if my brother wouldn't have put us there, I wouldn't have known word of English only, you know. My mother was very pleased with me. She said, in 5 years you picked up so much. You have so much you have picked up. I was very good in Hindi. And maths also very much good in Hindi. Maths and Hindi में से इसकी वजह से I got first class.
You know Hindi, English, Tamil. 3 languages Hindi.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, but
Hindi, English, Tamil, Sindhi. 4 languages.
Hindi नहीं. Hindi, English. You know the talk, na?
Talk, no? You can talk.
I
Hindi,
can talk, right?
4 languages you know, no?
I can Hindi, Sindhi, Tamil, English.
4 languages.
Those are very, very golden places.
Millie said she's not too well. She not come.
Right. There's 3 of us today.
We never used to get Diwali vacation. We used to go down. My brother's daughter and my son. My brother had sent car and driver.
Hari Om, sir.
Driver was to work for
Hari Om.
for 50 years.
How come you're not here?
I'm not here. I came here to my Guru sister's house in Malad.
Malad. Achha.
So I came here because it was Diwali time and then she's also alone. So then I said that she told me to come. There was a Lakshmi Pujan and all.
Okay.
So for that reason, I came here
No
to her
problem.
house. So
Nice place.
yeah, it's a bungalow, sir.
Mm.
So that is why I came here.
Mm.
I'll show you around if you want to see. I don't know how to show you.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is it on the first floor?
No, sir, it's a bungalow. It's a ground level.
Oh, okay. Nice. A lot of trees. So nice. Mumbai,
Yeah,
you don't
because
find
it is
trees.
greenery, and this is the house inside.
Okay.
So I just came outside now to talk to you.
Okay.
So,
We'll start then.
yeah. Okay, sir.
ॐ प्रातः स्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित्सुखं परमहंसगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागरसुषुप्तमवेति नित्यम् तत्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्गः Okay. So we'll discuss some stories. If you see our scriptures, they are always interlaced with stories. Because why? Why do you think we have so many stories? Puranas, Panchatantra, this and that. Everywhere there are stories. Right? In every religion there are lots of stories. Why do you think there are stories?
They depict something, they teach us something, we can learn from it.
You can directly teach the concept as well. Why stories?
But with stories, we can remember it better, no?
Correct. Stories you remember. Concept you forget.
Yeah.
So that's why especially in Puranic stories, uh, it's always retold. One of the reasons. Um, if you study Mahabharata or Ramayana, Yoga Vasishta, let's say, Vasishta Maharaj here, he is talking to Rama, saying that, you know what I heard? I heard that this man did that. And he explains that story. So a story is always a third person account, right? There is a very good reason for that. Because they don't want you to get stuck to a story. What happens if it's like a, let's say, ये मेरे साथ हुआ है, if I tell you, it's very easy for you to believe that I can say whatever, you know what, ऐसे हुआ है, वहाँ कोई नहीं था, मगर when I thought something, they came, and this is the power of this and that. And you say, अरे first hand account आपने सुना है ना? So generally human mind क्या है? We tend to believe stuff easily because it's very easy to believe stuff than to question. Questioning takes effort. So if somebody says, you know what, I've heard one of the masters who was in YouTube, he was saying, you know what, my guru used to communicate with snakes, and we used to go to the snake world, and I have clearly seen that happening. So he was in that. Where did you go? And I asked him after 5-10 minutes, sir, where were you? So they called me Snake World. It's just Snake World is underground or is some other country or whatever. They called me for some advice, so I gave them an advice and came back. And this man is telling this is my first-hand account. So when you listen to that, what is your thing? This man is great now. Must be true. Oh, so there is a snake world, is it? Do you know or do I know there is a snake world? No, we don't know. But he knows. So since you trust him, you will trust his story as well. That's how, I'm not saying he's manipulating on anything, but that's very easy to manipulate people into believing things that are not logically explained. Right? That's why all these Puranic stories you see, Vasishta will say, thus I heard as I heard Vishwamitra telling a story to somebody else. He will not say, I heard this story. I heard that this sage in the past, so let's say it's in Dwapara Yuga, in Mahabharata, somebody is telling a story to Krishna, Krishna is telling a story to Arjuna, and then he says, I heard that Vishwamitra told a story to Rama. What was the story? This is the story. So they will not give a direct account, because if it's a direct account, you tend to believe the story and forget the message. That is why when I was reading all this, I was wondering, why are they doing like this? मैंने ऐसे सुना, उसने उसको ऐसे बोला. Why can't you just say, this is the story, or this is what I saw? They will never say, because we tend to believe everything that others say. So, thus there is a story of a butcher in Mahabharata. आपने सुना होगा. I don't know if you heard. It's called Vyadha Gita. Vyadha means a profession. Vadha means what? To kill. So a profession of killing is Vyadha. Vyadha Gita means song. This man, Krishna gave a Gita, right? Bhagavad Gita. Vyadha Gita is he gave a sermon to somebody. Who? A butcher. Not a Brahmin. A butcher. So what is the story? So again, Yudhishthira. Now this is Vyadha is something else. So Yudhishthira goes to Markandeya. Markandeya was a great sage. So Markandeya's story is also there. So his mother and father were asked by God. They were praying for a child. So when God came, they said, we want a child. They said, okay, you'll get a boy. Do you want a boy who lives a normal life, full age, or do you want a boy who lives for 16 years and dies, but he'll be self-realized? He'll be a realized soul. When he's born, he'll be a realized soul. Or do you want a boy who will live long life and then die? Then they said, no, we want a boy who is what? Only 16 years. That means you will see his death. But they said, no, no, no. We want a boy who's 16. He may die at 16, but he will change the world. I know. Thus, Markandeya Swami was born. So he was very young. And when Pandavas were in exile, and there's Vanvas they were doing, so he comes and meets them. And Yudhishthira asks, tell me about dharma. What is dharma? They talk about dharma, and my name is Dharmaraj. What is true dharma? What must I do? What is my obligation? So then Markandeya Swami says, there was a couple. This is what I heard, that there was a couple who didn't have a child. And then they were praying for a god, and they got a child. They named him Kaushika. These are all very prevalent names. And that fellow was a genius. When he was born, he was a genius. So he started reading scriptures. He did everything that you can think of, a Brahmin boy can think of, everything he did. And then he wanted to take up asceticism. Meaning he wants to take, क्या बोलते हैं? Sannyas. He wants to take sannyas. But he had this old, aging parents. And he said, no, sannyas is important. So he left them. And then he went to jungles. There he was meditating for a couple of years. Meditation, he got a lot of powers. So one day when he was meditating, leaves started falling on top of his head. So he looks at top and he sees a crane and a crow were fighting. he looks at them, he gets really angry that, they disturbed his meditation. He looks at them like that, and with his yogic power, he burns them, both of them, dead, burns them. So he's,
आज नाराज भी है यहीं बैठूंगा मैं
जी it's okay, you're sitting here.
तो आप सब यहाँ पे
Please sign first,
right.
महाराज का लेक्चर होता है
So with his yogic power, he burns them. And then he says, oh, nice, good, they were disturbing me, like that. Now he has to go, and then after he finishes, he goes for Bhiksha. At that time, if you are a sannyasi, you don't fend for yourself. You go for Bhiksha. And Bhiksha is what you just say, at least in Buddhism, they say Bhiksha and they, only 3 times they have to say. They don't have to go and, Arey, khana do, khana do. No. 3 times they say and they wait. And if it doesn't come, they go to the next house. So he goes and then says, Bhiksha. And then the lady of the house has a husband who's just fallen sick. So she's cooking food for him. She says, wait, let me take care of my husband. Let me feed him first. Then I'll come to you. And then she has to do whatever she's feeding him. And then it takes some time, maybe half an hour or so. This fellow is getting impatient. You are making me wait. And then when she's at last, she finishes the duty and she comes. And then he's thinking, this lady, who does she think she is? You know how much power I have? If I want to, I can just entire house or her and just burn her. She's thinking, he's thinking. And then the lady immediately says, hey, I am not the crane or the crow to burn from your eyes. And this fellow is like, what is she thinking something? How did she know? And then he says, Mata, how do you know what I was thinking? Then she says, I may not be an ascetic like you, doing tapas for so many years, but whatever I did as my obligatory duty, as in my house, right, and in my surroundings, that gave me enough power to understand what is happening in your mind. Then he says, okay, this is something he couldn't imagine. And he says, to a household lady, more powerful than him. And he says, Madam, can you teach me how? He says, I've not read anything, but I know somebody who is in Mithila, that place, who is in Mithila. You go there, his name is Dharmavyad, and he will teach you. He's thinking, Dharmavyad, kaun hai? Chalo jaate hain. Then he said, okay, I want to learn. And he does a trek. But that way he's very, honest and ardent that he wants to learn. So he goes all the way to Mithila. And then he's asking about this Dharmavyad. And then he's not in the city at all. Outskirts of the city, they send him. You go there, go there, go there. He walks outskirts of the city. And there is a butchery shop there. Meat shop. And then tamasic place. And he's a Brahmana, right? So this is tamasic place. I don't want to go there. But then they said, this is where he is. That's the guy who's cutting the meat. That's him, Dharmavyad. And then he goes and he says, आप धर्मव्याद हैं? क्या चाहिए आपको? नहीं, मैं आपसे सीखने के लिए आया हूँ. बैठो वहाँ. He's cutting meat. बैठो. That's place. It's like, yeah, it's like, wow. And that, and he's again, he's not sit. He's sitting there. And he's waiting, waiting, waiting. And then this guy is finished. And then he goes home. He's still waiting. He goes home. That guy first makes food, gives it to his parents. Parents are nice, and then he makes them sleep. And then he says, what do you want? I want to learn. What do you want to learn? I want to learn this Brahma Gyan. How do I do that? Then he explains what the scriptures say about what is dharma. Dharma is not something that you do which is outside of yourself. See, when we talk about, oh, dharmic living, or when you talk about pursuing God, it's not that you leave everything and go somewhere and do it. He says, doing my duties which I understand. See, I was born in a family like this. My duty is to cut meat. Somebody has to run the show. I can't say, no, I will not do. Who will feed my parents? Right? So I have to do it. So I do it in such a way that when I do it, and he's a vegetarian, I don't eat. Dharma he's a righteous butcher. Righteous butcher. Says, I don't eat meat. But then my customers have to eat. This is my duty. So I cut. And whatever is remaining, the money that I get, I keep for my family and myself, that my family. And whatever is extra, I give it away. This is how I live my life. Then when he talks about what is your scenario, I have aging parents and this and that. Hey man, what you want to learn, Vedanta? Reading the books and this, go back and serve your parents. So he goes back, he serves his parents, and once everything is done, he realizes the self. He self-realized. So, when we talk about Vedanta, we get these weird ideas because we see people like this. Like this only. But I'm married. That doesn't mean you all have to marry. Just because Vivekananda is not married, that doesn't mean the entire fold doesn't have to marry. For hundreds of years, 100 years, if you want to join Ramakrishna Mutt, you have to be a bachelor. What is happening in his head? What is his obligations? I'm not criticizing anything. Please don't take me wrong. Don't take me wrong. But one must understand what is the obligation. And that's why Bhagavan Krishna also says, do your obligatory duties. That's it. But how do you do? With what intention you do is important. It cannot be a drudgery. My parents are, they have to take care of it. No, nobody is forcing you to do it. You do it because it's your dharma to do it. You do it because it's dharma to do. You study because it's your dharma to study. You want to improve yourself, you study. You play sports. Why? Not because if I don't play sports, what will the other people think? No, you play sports because you need to take care of your body. See, in Upanishads also, the first thing they say, the invocation of Upanishads is, may the Guru and the Shishya are saying, may my limbs, may my body live for 100 years. That means what? Just not praying. They're eating the right food. They're doing the right thing. They walk and do chopping wood and all that. What do? Builds up their body. If the body is not good, how can you study? How can you perform your obligations? Somebody says, so sir, so I should not drink alcohol. Everything has to be regulated. Can't say, no, alcohol bura hai. I would say smoking bura hai because it kills you. Alcohol, okay, maybe once in a week or something, if you want to have to drink or something like that, but you have to control. But for why? What? If you feel that it is not good for your health, stop. See, the primary duty, so your dharma for your body is You must take care of the body. If there is a backache, don't neglect it. Go and fix it. Because the body is serving you. Free me. So what is your duty as a dharma for the body? Take care of the body. Don't give it junk food every day. Once in a while, take a body craves something, give. Dharma as a citizen of this country. I see people in fancy cars open the door while driving. What do? Open the window.
They litter.
They litter, just throw a bottle. What are you doing? Isn't that the dharma as a citizen of this country that you're not supposed to? Do you trash your own house like that? Abhi aise फेंक देंगे क्या हम लोग? We go to a kitchen and then put it in the dustbin, right? We even segregate in the house. So what is your dharma as a citizen of this country? What is your dharma as a sibling? What is your dharma as a parent? What is your dharma as a child? There are certain things, if you do it because it must be done, then you're living a dharmic life and you will reach the self. This can be done by study. But again, I have to come back to it. Only when you study Vedanta, these ideas are impinged on you. You keep repeating these ideas. Someday, if you repeat it 100 times, think about it 100 times, maybe it will settle. So what is the use of study? Study makes you attuned to what your dharmic obligations are. And once that happens, because if I force you to do it, you can't do it. नहीं ये करो वो करो अरे स्वामी जी ने बोला करो. If you're not happy, you're not convinced of why you have to do it. So that's why they say Jnana Yoga is very important. Once you study, then you understand, you get a clarity on what needs to be done. So similarly, there is a
You do for some time or some days,
Ah.
and again you forget. And then
what
again
you forget
you
to.
forget that you have to do it just because you have to do it.
That's what.
You get involved emotionally and then you get upset.
That's where study comes. Chuba. I can't stress upon this. And very strangely, many of the masters don't stress on it. That you must not study regularly. You must study daily. Half an hour, Indians say bargaining. Half an hour. Minimum half an hour you have to study Vedanta. Who will give you these ideas? Who will bombard you with these ideas? See, we are what we are because we have had these ideas thrown into us, isn't it? Society ने throw किया है, किसी ने तो impinge किया है ना. We are like this because of those ideas. A person is changed, meaning ideas have changed first. Person doesn't change physically. First, the mentality has to change. How will you change that? I have studied daily. That's very important. Ideally, what time? Morning. What time? Ideally, morning.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. 4 a.m. I get up at 3:50 every day. But I sleep 10 o'clock, 9:30 I sleep. I can't be sleepy. If let's say I go to some place, Pune or something like that, and I happen to sleep at 11 because of family obligation, I can't get up at 4. No, of course. I get up at 5:30. At least Brahma Muhurta. कुछ तो पढ़ो. कुछ तो पढ़ो.
Study every day, you will not forget.
That's the reason. Have to study.
What is the significance of 4 a.m.?
So 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. is Sattvic time. Brahma Muhurta it's called.
You can see them like you have to. And really you see them.
Yes.
Then they are going back to the
Who?
भगवान का आप
Ah.
ध्यान रखोगे तो देखेंगे 3 और 4 के बीच में
They really come and then you can see them, but they're going back to them. You
Hmm.
have to imagine and see them.
Hmm.
That's a good time from 3 to 4.
4 to 6.
I'm feeling
3 to 4 is
Three,
depends on the place.
3 o'clock.
Actually, 3:30, 3:45. But anyway, 4 to 6. Let's say standardized to 4 to 6. 6 to 6 is Rajasic time. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. is Tamasic time. So Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are three mental temperaments that we have. Tamasic temperament is when your mind is lazy, lethargic, procrastinating, करेंगे, देखेंगे, सोचेंगे, you know. Everybody's mind is like that once in sometimes, you know. Usually from 6 p.m. onwards, you are indisposed to activity. You don't want to work, you don't want to think. That's the nature of the mind, you know. Sometimes, even in morning times also, you don't want to do tamasic. Rajasic is where you're very active. Chalo, 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 chalo. You do, but you're very agitated also. Activity with agitation is Rajas. Activity is there, but fully tensed. Tension this, tension that. Is it cold for him? Can you order it? No. So it's very short.
Not the fan. Not the fan.
ठंडा है.
Are you feeling cold?
Are you feeling cold?
Are you feeling cold? No? Yes.
No, no. Okay.
Is it?
He sits in the AC.
Acha. So Rajas is activity with agitation. Sattva is a quality in you where you are serene, composed, collected, mature. You're very active, but no noise is created. You have all the time in the world, but you're very productive. So human beings are a composition of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. No other philosophy explains this concept. Only in Hinduism explains this, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So we are a combination. We are different because of our Sattva, Rajas, Tamas temperaments, percentages. So you may have 60% Rajas and about 20% of Sattva, 20% of Tamas. Could be anything. So the Sattvic, so that Sattva, Rajas, Tamas can be extended or extrapolated in different places as well. Sattvic food, they say. You know, Sattvic food is something which is chewy.
So we cannot see you.
Sony, even if you use the internet phone and call him, he won't pick up the phone now.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, now it's fine.
So
Now it's
Rajasic
fine.
food, Rajasic food is something which creates which is extremely spicy, you know, which creates some kind of what do you call, kind of an agitation or kind of a push, you know, which is a little harsh. That is Rajasic food. And Tamasic food is blue cheese. Have you had blue cheese? Blue cheese is like almost rotten food, you know, food that is, some people like that, you know, very interesting.
Yeah.
Tamasic food. So it's not if you take it very technically, it's not the food which is Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. A Sattvic person will prefer a Sattvic food. A Tamasic person will go to Tamasic foods. For example, intoxicants. That doesn't mean you're fully Tamasic. Your Tamasic aspect is drawn to that. If a person is highly Sattvic, you see him getting up in this time of 4 to 6. no matter what. He doesn't need alarm, doesn't need anything. He will get up. What will he do is different. So I see my dad gets up at 5 o'clock, right? Automatic. कभी भी सुने दो. 5 o'clock he'll get up. But you know what he does? Switches on the TV and watches news. What are you doing, man? Study, do some research. The scientists do some research. So sattvic time, if you have excess of sattva, you'll get up in the morning. If you have excess of tamas, you can't but get up in the morning. You cannot get up in the morning. 4 to 6 is impossible. The proportions may change as you put effort, but if it's too tamasic now, impossible. That I know one lady who is like trying to get up because she heard about Vedanta and get up in the morning and 30 years she's trying. That doesn't mean, whatever time you get up, study, Baba. Oh, I'm not sattvic. There is so much of sattva in you. You are so unselfish. You don't count that. You're only counting as sattva. I'm not able to get up in the morning. No. The judgment is wrong. But she is sattvic, but that content is not enough for her to wake up, push her up. So that's sattva, rajas, tamas. So sattvic, rajasic and tamasic times. Why did we discuss that?
I asked.
No, sattvic. Sattvic, rajasic. So is that clear? So it's a mental temperament. You will say even cow is sattvic. Because all it does is give. Everything of cow is giving. Right? A dog is rajasic. All the time agitated, or scared and this and that. And they say an elephant is tamasic. It doesn't understand what it's doing. Sorry, somebody fell. Sorry.
Relax.
But don't get up now.
Wait.
Don't get up.
आराम से
Okay. Sangeeta
All
ji,
okay, sir?
Uncle wants to leave. No,
All
Mama,
okay?
not your mom, mother-in-law.
She's okay?
She's okay, nothing. आप उनका थोड़ा हेड चेक करेंगे कुछ लगा है क्या नहीं लगा ना हेड में
कौन गिर गया?
वो बोल रहे लगा
मदर-in-law
मदन
हाँ slowly अभी उठाऊंगा
चेयर पे बिठाओ
yeah don't push her it's okay yeah
खाली पकड़ खाली
सूरज के उगने से पहले सूरज उठने का है उसको भी हम लोग ये सूरज उगने से पहले उठने का है तो रात सोने के पहले tell your mind you have to listen to how to get up at 5 a.m.
So we cannot see you.
She's okay. She's okay. If you have any questions, you can discuss that as well.
ये कर्म बड़ा होता है क्या धर्म बड़ा होता है?
Karam or dharam? Synonyms है ना? दोनों सही नहीं है. Your karma is your dharma. Why do you want to segregate that? What you do is your dharma. If you do that,
Both has to be both.
both are same. Yeah, it's a conjunction. They both are interdependent. Karma and dharma. So there's a small Zen story as well. Very practical Vedanta. What is practical Vedanta? Based on obligations that we studied, we discussed. So one of the students says, my teacher is the best. He can go days without eating. Another student says, my master is the best. He can go days without eating. The third one says, my teacher is so wise that he eats when he's hungry, he sleeps when he's tired. So our idea about Vedanta and spirituality is, oh, ye karna hai, wo karna hai. It's practical Vedanta. Vedanta is very practical. Now, you have to find out what your duties and responsibilities are. While performing your duties and responsibilities, it has to be done unselfishly. So for which there is a story about, I think we've covered this. This is from a book called Parables of Rama. So in this, he talks about a saint who was so good that his only two concepts were he gave, he forgave. He used to live on that. He never spoke about it. कि मेरे ये concepts है कि मैं I gave and I forgave. He just lived it. When you see him, you know he's always cheerful, always happy. You cannot upset him, right? He's very, wherever he is there, he is there. He is doing his duties, whatever he has to do, serve the people, whatever. So the angels are very happy. And then they go to God and then say, you know what? We want to reward this man. We're really impressed by his deeds in the world. We want to give him something. God says, you know what? He doesn't need anything. Why bothering him? The angels insist, no, we have to give something. Okay. But you have to take permission from God not to go to the world. So God says, okay. Then they go to him and says, we are angels and we want to give you a boon. I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. There's a word for that in Sanskrit called paripurna. Paripurna. Fully satisfied. He doesn't want anything. $1 million, see? $1 million is a lot, huh? $1 million? नहीं चाहिए. I understand what all you can get from $1 million, but it's okay. ठीक है. You want the fame? You want to be Shah Rukh Khan? Nah, I'm fine. I'm okay. So they ask him, do you want to be a model of patience, attracting, souls and all that? He says, no. If I attract them, then they will get estranged from God. No, I don't want that. Then he said, do you want to heal the sick? You want to heal the sick at the touch? Then he says, I mean, that's your job. Angels do that. That's not my job. Please, I don't want that. They're trying to convince him. So he are tired. And then he says, you have to ask. Something you have to ask. You don't, go talk out like this where you don't want anything. You have to ask. We want to give you something. Okay, bhaiya, if you are forcing me to ask, then he says something which is an incredible statement, the way Swami Ramatirtha puts, and which baffled me. He says that I may diffuse virtue, that I may do a great deal of good without ever knowing about it. Parisha, what is it? He says, I may do that, you give me a boon that I could do great deal of good, but not know about it. It's like when I first heard this, does it make sense to you?
You only don't know, and you're doing something
What's the point of it?
good.
Yeah. I'm doing great things, but I don't know that I'm doing the great things. What is the point of doing great things?
People often do it for their own.
Isn't it? I mean, arey chalo, theek hai, even if it's not negative, something I should get a feedback कि मैंने ये किया है. He's saying, मुझे नहीं मालूम करना है मुझे मैंने क्या किया. But I should do great things. What are you asking, man? It doesn't make any sense to me. I want to know. ठीक है, मैं किसी को बोलूंगा भी नहीं मैंने ये काम किया है, मगर I want to know मैंने किया है, मुझे satisfaction मिलता है. He says, I don't want even that. These angels are like crazy. What to do? How do you do this? Then they go to God and ask him what to do. And then he says, make his shadow powerful. That means wherever his shadow falls, all the withered grass and plants, they start growing. People who are sick, they start healing. People who are unhappy, they become happy. So they said, we will bless his shadow. And hence he is called Holy Shadow. Called Holy Shadow. So he went about his life, and the people respected that this was his boon, and they never told him that you're doing so many things. So in performing your obligations, how do you perform your obligations is very important. Like this man, you have to be completely unselfish.
Vivek, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you say that you should be unselfish, it's a very great thing. But how do you know when somebody is trying to make a sucker out of you? How do you, I mean, when you can see it that the person is trying to make a sucker out of you, and
Yeah.
then how do you carry out your obligatory duties then without the feeling that this person is trying to cheat me?
So obligatory duties, meaning whatever happens, you have to do, right?
No,
Oblig-
not necessarily. Not necessarily. For instance, today I may be having a relative, and I'm not bound to take care of his well-being.
Hmm.
But because we are related by blood, you
Hmm.
feel for that person and you try to take care of that person. And in return, the person tries to make a sucker out of you. I
Yes.
mean, trying to extract as much as he can,
Yes.
even when the person doesn't need it. In such a situation, how do you perform your obligatory duties without feeling the pinch of it?
So there are a couple of ways of explaining. One is, first of all, you have to find out there are two types of obligations. One is Nitya Karma, another is Naimittika Karma. Nitya Karma is that you have to do daily. Naimittika Karma is occasional duties. Right? Now, if what you are giving a scenario, does it fall in your Nitya Karma or not, you must decide. Right? Taking care of your neighbor is not your Nitya Karma. Taking care of your kids and parents is your Nitya Karma. So, Nitya means every day, all the time. So, then you understand, right? Is it Nitya or Naimittika? Naimittika means occasional. So, based on that, you decide. So, every day, a person, your neighbor is asking for help. You can't. That's not your Nitya Karma.
But then the question of humanity comes in, because the person is related to you, and then you feel that no, you say to the extent possible, and you are a little more privileged than the other person. That is also God's gift. So then you feel that, but at the same time, when you see at each juncture, the person is trying to make a sucker out of you, and you let's say you are only willing to give him the basic necessities, but he wants a little more than the basic necessities. Then what do you do?
See, when they say be unselfish within your means, right? Unselfish within your means, because you have other duties as well. Your Nitya Karma is there now. First priority, Nitya Karma. So, taking the Nitya Karma into priority, do Naimittika Karma. You can't sacrifice Nitya Karma for Naimittika Karma. How can you do that? That is simple logic, no? Achha, okay, you have to take care of your servants' kids' education. Not at the expense of your kids' education. No, I am very unselfish. I need to take care. I'll send them to Ivy League school. And see, since I'm sending them to Ivy League school, I don't have money to send them to government school. TK, my kids can suffer. Arey Baba, what is his logic? Why did you create the kids then? You created kids means it's first primary obligation, take care of the kids. You don't have to send them to Ivy League school. If you have the means, please do. You don't have the means. So your neighbor is saying, help me. Help. To what extent? You need to know. I can't tell you. Isn't it? Is that impinging on your Nitya Karma? If not, go all out. Many people ask my guru, so if people take advantage of you, if you're unselfish, you want to be a giver. No, I want to give, sir. I want to be a giver. What does a giver look for?
You should get appreciation.
No. A actual genuine giver looks for another giver.
What the receipt?
He looks for a taker. No, taker. Worthy or not. If you want to give, you look for a taker. Worthy kyun? Worthy is very important. Khalil Gibran says, who are you? Who are you in this world to decide who is worthy, who is not? The abundance that gave, somehow gave it to you. If he would have born in your place, he would think this is it. What are you saying? It must just be sheer luck you're born in a wealthy family. Sheer damn luck. Why not him in the footpath? So you, I'm not saying you, I will decide that you are worthy or not. Hey, God gave you stuff. Give it. That's your duty. But don't be a fool. First, follow your Nitya Karma. Do that. And whatever is extra, like that Dharma Vyad, whatever extra, give it away.
But many people need it, so you have to discriminate where it is best.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
So first take care of your own servants, man. See, it's so strange. It's so strange. There are many people whose servants, kids are not studying and they are doing charities in other places, huge places. अनाथ आश्रम को दे रहे हैं खाना, खाना बना रहे हैं तो यहाँ दे रहे. The servants' kids are not educated, not taking care of them. Why? So why do they do? Because of name and fame. So that's not charity at all. No, Khalil Gibran says, when you do charity, you should neither feel pain nor feel happiness out of it. Is it? If you read it on giving, Khalil Gibran on giving, if you read that now, you will say charity मेरे को नहीं करना है. So many conditions he puts how to do a proper charity. It's like, oh my God, how can you even do that? You should not even you should not do charity because you feel happy about it. Because when you do charity, you feel happy. That's not charity, he says. You should give.
So charity should be given to you, then you are happy. Not
Right.
because of your happiness.
Correct.
And charity always starts at घर से ही शुरू होना चाहिए.
At home.
Not at home.
Yes.
Charity should be at home.
He says you should give as though a myrtle gives its fragrance in a desert. You know, there's a flower called myrtle which gives nice fragrance, but it's in a desert. Who is there to appreciate? But it gives. You should give charity like that, he said. So, sir, and my guru goes one more step. This, I don't know if we can all hajam. You know, he says, let them take advantage. It goes another level. You want to give now? Give. Let them take advantage. Give now. Big deal. But make sure they don't, by your charity, they don't, devolve. They don't devolve. See, you're giving charity, he's doing drugs. No, make sure that is not happening.
Not misused.
Not misused. But if they want, you know what? One more level is there. We can't understand all this. Just give. It's not your purview whether he misuses or uses. See, don't go there now, right now. I mean, even I don't agree with it. But this is said in the scriptures. Your charity ends the moment you give, period. But coming back, the very practical way of approaching charity is your nitya, routine, duties should be first taken care of. Then whatever is there, other duties has to be dispensed. Not sacrificing your routine. Is that okay, Anilji?
Yes, sir, but Vivekji, it's very difficult to find out whether that actually falls into your obligatory duties or non-obligatory duties. I mean, that's a very thin line of difference,
Okay.
especially when you know a person is related to you.
Yeah. So one more way of looking at it is you sacrifice the lower obligations for the higher obligations, if that helps. See, for example, a soldier is there. He has decided his primary obligation is country first, on top of anything, because his profession is soldier. Now, his secondary obligation would be his family then. He's a soldier. He's not a businessman or anything, you know. He's a soldier. So, let's say his wife is pregnant and she's giving birth in couple of 1 or 2 weeks, and the country calls him. He can't say, no, I need to be with my wife. He has to sacrifice the lower obligation, which he has decided, for the higher obligation, country. So in that sense, if you see, also you may get clarity. What is higher, what is lower?
Thank you.
So it needs a little bit of thinking there. That will help. So these certain standards from the scriptures will help us give some clarity there. what is higher, what is lower. Yes.
So this is related to the earlier discussion on dharma, karma. I think your earlier also said that to do your karma, that itself is your dharma. Ideally, for something else, or
Yeah. Something
not
higher.
yourself. So does Vedanta, in all of this, is there a concept of living life with a higher purpose? Or is it as simple as if I do my daily job in the best possible way, that is my karma, that is my dharma, that is that, for somebody else's benefit also?
Hmm.
Is that, I won't use the word good enough, is that the ultimate realization?
No.
Or is there a concept of a higher purpose and realization?
So that's not the ultimate. Again, when you're talking about unselfish actions, the concept of karma comes in. If you do selfish, self-centered actions, you accrue papa. Means you'll have that kind of effects, cause and effect. If you do unselfish actions, you'll get punya, heaven. Heaven meaning nice lifestyle in the future or in next janma, whatever, if you believe it or not. But the whole point of Vedanta is not just unselfish action. Again, action it is, cross. It's in that loop. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Again, you do unselfish actions, you enjoy heaven, back to square one. Unselfish action, enjoy heaven, back to square one. It's going on, that loop. You're never breaking out of the loop.
So maybe I'll explain my question as an example. Let's say I'm a farmer. I toil very hard, whole day, grow crops, which is food for broader population. I'm not doing it for myself. Sure, I'll make a living,
Yeah.
but it's helping somebody else.
Yes.
I'm fully engrossed in my karma, in the hot sun.
Yes.
Is that is one way of it. There's another way where someone might discover some medicine that will benefit millions of people.
Yeah.
Or a preacher, like your guru, which will give enlightenment to.
Mm.
Does Vedanta differentiate between the two types of karma? Both are not for self, both are for the benefit of others. One is at a different scale, one is at another scale. Does Vedanta
No.
differentiate? They're both equal.
Yeah. Action doesn't matter. Intention matters. What's the intention?
And so impact, the scale of impact.
Doesn't matter. It has no effect. So you could be a householder dispensing your duties much, much better than a person who is doing something else on a broader scale. It's the quality of action, it's the quality of intention. So one way of working is selfishly for myself. The other way of working, which Vedanta says, is work for others, right? Then you'll be happier. But that's not the end game. That's not the goal of life. The goal of life is to reduce desires. So reduction of desires happen by working selflessly, which is I do this action because this action must be done. Now, why I am doing this action is not to purview at all. This is a third level of activity. See, first is I do for myself. Second is, let's say I take this class for the benefit of everybody. Unselfish, right? I come all the way, I take for everybody. The third way, which Vedanta says is, you take this class because this is a talent or whatever you may say, which God has given, just dispense with that duty to the best of your ability. Forget about you benefiting or others benefiting. That's not your purview. Just do it and leave it. Just do it. Because this is what you're good at, just dispense the action. There's a reason why they say that. Because of the karmic effect. So if you do selfish action, you do more selfish vasanas, more actions. Unselfish actions, unselfish vasanas, unselfish actions. Selfless actions, you do actions, no more vasanas. So there's a methodology in that. So the highest activity is just do it. Nike. Just do it. Nothing else to it. Oh, I'm benefiting others. Again, there's an ego involved. I am benefiting others, which is much, much better than not benefiting others. But that's not the end of it. The ultimate goal is to, in every activity, you are dedicating it to get to that self, get to that self, get to that self. That is a transition. So, first of all, none of us are unselfish to begin with. So they are always, harping on being unselfish, unselfish. Then you come to a stage where you understand that there is a harmony in the world and you live in that unison of that harmony. You just go with that flow. You're in that. That makes sense?
So Vedanta is a very such a concept like it's very vast. Like everything comes under it.
Yeah. There's so many concepts that we don't have time to discuss here.
It's like that हाथी के पाँव के नीचे सब जानवरों के पाँव आ जाते हैं.
Yeah. The ultimate reality is what you perceive itself is an illusion. Actually, that doesn't even enter us. What you see, what you're experiencing is no better than a dream.
We're hearing it, but we don't feel it that way.
Good, you don't feel it. Imagine feeling that. So that's called Maya. This is Maya, there's illusions. What is consciousness? That's the ultimate. But there's a transition to get there. Yeah, I'm totally selfish, self-centered. I'm thinking about Maya, I'll study this and what is there's no connection. First, be kind to others. My guru says, Apre who? After you. Hold the door for somebody after you. That much only we can't do, and we're thinking about God realization, self-realization, and make it. So yeah. And one last story, which is very interesting, about this Kerala. There was a Swami in Kerala. His name was Parva Elle. You know Parva Elle Swami?
No, I know the meaning.
Not bothered.
Parva Elle means Parva means Parva nahi hai. Chalo,
Not
ठीक.
bothered.
Not bothered. His name is Parva Elle Swami. Very interesting. So I don't know if it's a true story or not, but it seems very true to me. So he was a saintly man living in a village. All the villagers used to appreciate him. Or what a saintly man. Aap mahan ho, aap to purush hi nahi ho, mahapurush ho, mahapurush, like that. And then he says, great, great, great. Parvaile. Is that so in English? Parvaile. आप सर आप ग्रेट आपने मेरा जीवन सार्थक कर दिया. Parvaile. That's it. That's it. Then what happens? The munshi of that village daughter falls in love with another munshi son. And then they have an affair. And then that guy goes on a tour, for a long tour. At that time, long tour, they used to go on a horse ride or whatever. And this lady, pregnant, and both are opposing munshis. They don't see eye to eye. And then now the parents are asking, who is the father? How did this happen? And she is very scared. And then this Parva Elle Swami did it. And then they come to this fellow and beat him up and then say, you crooked fellow in sadhu ke bhes mein tu. Say, what is that word, Lomdi hai, this and that, they say to him. And they say, Rakh le isko, you have to take care of this lady. And then the speak to Parva Elle. Is that so? You're a worst fellow, you're one of the worstest worst. Is that so? And then the lady comes and then she apologizes immediately. I didn't know what to say. I was so scared because they don't see to eye to eye. And when he comes, maybe something will happen. Now nobody, he used to go for Bhiksha for his food in the village. Nobody wants to give him food. Now he has to get bhiksha from another village for not one person, two people. That lady also he has to get. So like that couple of months go, and she's apologizing. She said, Parvati. And then the boy comes, and then he's so sad that they accuse this man. He's like such a great servant. And then he falls under her feet and then says, I'm so sorry, this is what happened. I'm going to go tell Parvati. That's it. And all the villagers come and then such a pap kiya, Gor pap, sharp, give us sharp and Parvati. When you do your activities, your obligations, you need to be objective like this, Parvati. Take it easy. Oh, this has happened to me. That lady said this. Is that so? You know what? You are great. You are best. Is that so? Not condescendingly. Genuinely feel. Is that so? Big deal. Everything is temporary. Even this shall pass. Nothing is permanent. Somebody gives you $1 million. Thank you. Oh, sorry, by mistake I gave it to you and take it back. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, $1 million. Is that so? Is that? See, these stories kind of gives us a feeling that it's possible. It's possible. You see some percentage of these kind of qualities in some people that you meet. Arey, he's so chill, Arey, kuch bolo, chill hai yaar banda. That's parvail in him. So we discuss stories so that it's very practical. It's possible. Like that Vyadha.
It sort of makes life's troubles very light.
Hai na?
Small things what happen. You can just, just overlook or say it's okay.
It's okay. Every little thing is a problem for us. Auto wala chillata hai, dekh ke chala. How dare he say that to me? What is? Do you know him? Why do you need to take panga with him for what? Oh, I'm sorry. See, in India, I've noticed this. I don't know about other places. If you, let's say, it's not your mistake, even if it's your mistake, right? If some confrontation is happening, immediately give a smile and then say sorry. Whole thing diffuses. You come and bump somebody from behind, and he looks at you and says, I'm really sorry. Sorry. Okay, diffuse over. Oh, why you put a brake and I had to take a break? It's your fault. It's hi. Life is so simple. We make it complicated. So look at this parallel. Big. So is that so? Is that so? Same thing with that objectivity, Vyada Gita. And then practical. My teacher sleeps when he's when he's tired, when he eats, when he's hungry. Extra करने की जरूरत नहीं. ठीक है. Any further questions?
Sir, you kept the class very light today.
I know last 4-5 classes were really heavy. So I thought last 2 classes,
No, but it's not the question of heavy and light, it's just a term. But still, it was good today in the sense you covered it up.
Thank you. Right. You guys can't see anything, right? The light is so bad because of this. No?
No, sir, it is sometimes becomes dark, sometimes light. It's not constantly bright, it's not constantly dark.
I'll have a light, I'll get it next time.
Or then, if you draw the curtains, then probably. I don't know. You have to check.
The place will look a little dark.
Then you can switch on the lights.
Yeah, switch on the lights. Still it's like this. But it's okay. Okay, then we will close with a chant. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti. We'll meet next time.
Yes,
Hari
sir.
Om.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Hari Om.